Start.
Hello, we are going to explain about passive voice and conditionals. The members of my team are Gwendolyn Torres, Bruno Desiderio, Aurora Cedillo, and Maria Fernanda Garcia. I'm going to start with passive voice. Passive voice is a grammatical structure that is used when you don't want to emphasize who or what performs the action, but rather who or what receives the action. Sometimes we use the passive voice because we don't know or do not want to express who performed the action. For example, A Hard Day's Night was written by the Beatles. The other topic is conditionals. We use a conditional sentence to say that one event depends of another event. That something can happen only if something else happens first. The first conditional is zero conditional. We use the zero conditional to express that a particular condition always has the same result. We are saying that something is always true or is a fact. The other is first conditional. We use the first conditional to express a possible condition and it results in the future. The second conditional, we use the second conditional to express a unreal or an improbable condition and it results in the present or in the future. And the third conditional, we use the third conditional to express a theoretical past situation and its theoretical result in the past.
The main of this presentation is to find the differences between English from English to Spanish. And in this part, we have an example, a short text about Rita, and the coins. I'm going to read it. One day, Rita's mother asked her to buy bread at the bakery. While on her way, she was playing with the coins when she tripped over a stone. Her cousin Carla shouted in the distance, "What happened?" And Jesus answered, "Rita lost the coins." And Carla said, "Speak louder. I can't hear you well. What happened?" "The coins were lost by Rita." They both ran and picked up Rita. Later, she was scolded by her mother. For if Rita had not played with the coins, they would have not gotten lost. Rita told herself, if I had saved the coins, I would have bought the bread. Meanwhile, Carla asked Jesus, "Was Rita hurt?" Jesus said, "Yes, she was." The stone hurt Rita. And Carla said, "Poor Rita was hurt by the stone." He was just thinking if Rita had not played with the coin, she wouldn't have tripped.
Okay, now I'm going to read the history with the Spanish translation and then we are going to explain a relationship with the passive voice and the subject of conditional. Un día la madre de Rita le pidió que comprara pan en la panadería. Durante el camino estaba jugando con las monedas cuando tropezó con una piedra. Su prima Carla gritó a lo lejos, ¿qué pasó? Y Jesús respondió, que Rita perdió las monedas. Y Carla dijo, habla más fuerte, no te escucho bien. ¿Qué ha pasado? Rita perdió las monedas. Ambos corrieron y recogieron a Rita. Más tarde su mamá la regañó, pues si Rita no hubiera jugado con las monedas, no las habría perdido. Rita se dijo a sí misma, si hubiera guardado las monedas, habría comprado el pan. Mientras tanto, Carla le pregunta a Jesús, ¿está herida Rita? Jesús dijo que sí. La piedra la había lastimado y Carla dijo, pobre, se lastimó. Él solo pensaba que si Rita no hubiera jugado con las monedas, no se habría tropezado. As can be seen in our history, there are 5 sentences, 2 that belong to the passive voice and 3 to the conditional. Well, I'm going to explain the first passive voice, and remember this is used when you want to give more importance to the action that to who performs that action. For example, in our history, we observe these two sentences where phrase A is passive and B is active. The letter A, the coins were lost by Rita, and the letter B, Rita lost the coin. And in these sentences, we see that in the passive voice, sentence A, they are more interested in the action. In this case, the loss of the coins that who performs that action. In this case, Rita, who was the one who lost those coins. And in two other sentences, is the same. The phrase A is passive and B is active. A. Rita was hurt by the stone, and the letter B, the stone hurt Rita. And we observe that in the statement A, one is more interested in the hurt that in who performed this action. In this case, the stone has in statement B. And that is all.
Your mind.
In the story, we see three sentences that are in conditional, in third conditional. If Rita had not played with the coins, they would have not gotten lost. If I had saved the coins, I would have bought the bread. If Rita had not played with the coins, she wouldn't have tripped. These three sentences are in third conditional, and they are used to talk about impossible situations, something that will never happen.
Differences between English and Spanish in passive voice. The first is, he was arrested last night. Fue detenido anoche. Aquí no necesitamos decir, aquí no necesitamos decir the police arrested him. La policía lo detuvo. Pues es un agente obvio. La policía tuvo que tener sus competencias para hacer la detención. El siguiente es chocolate eggs are made with milk and cocoa. The mixture is then poured in the molds. En Spanish, los huevos de chocolate se hacen con leche y cacao. Después se vierte la mezcla en moldes. En español es utilizado cuando estamos describiendo procesos y queremos mantener la descripción impersonal. Por ejemplo, una receta, un procedimiento. The film is directed by John Smith. La película está dirigida por John Smith. La oración está en presente simple. En inglés se utiliza más la voz pasiva que en español. En español es más probable decir John Smith dirigió esta película. An apple is eaten by me. Una manzana es comida por mí. Cuando la oración es activa y tenemos pronombres personales, es importante saber que los pronombres cambian su forma a pasar a pasivo. Por ejemplo, by me como el ejemplo, by you, by him.
Okay, in this case, here we have more examples. For example, in the first one we have the lamp was broken. And in Spanish, it says, la lámpara se rompió. In this case, in English, we have verb to be in its form in past. And in Spanish, we are using el pretérito perfecto simple. And in the second sentence, we have mistakes were made. And in Spanish, we have se han cometido errores. If you can see, we are using a passive voice too in English. And in Spanish, we are using the verb haber and modo indicativo presente. And in the third, like in the other sentence, we have the verb to be too, but in Spanish, we are not using an article like in Spanish. In the fourth sentence, we have I was given a gift by my aunt. And in Spanish, we say recibí un regalo de mi tía. If you can see, we are not using a pronoun in Spanish because it's not necessary like in English. And in the fifth sentence, we have in English, where in Texas was he killed? And in Spanish, we say en Texas, el lugar donde él fue asesinado. We are using lugar instead of where.
Difference between English and Spanish with conditionals. The first difference that I found in that in English conditional are sometimes used to refer to unreal situation. That it say that although the verb tense is that in the past tense, we are talking about something that didn't actually happen, and we are referring to the hypothetical situation that could occur now or anytime, and this is use of the past is called unreal past. And in Spanish, we can say that we are talking about assumption. And similar sentence structure is the similar sentence structure, but with different name. And the second is that there is no tense for the conditional in English as there is in Spanish. And the same time, in English, auxiliary verb will is used to form that conditional. The difference three, in the following example, rather than difference, I make a contrast between both languages because we can say that in both there are four types of conditional sentence and the use of one over the other depend on the probability of the action. And in the conditional zero, it's used when we speak of general truth, such as scientific facts, where the conditional and the result are always fulfilled. For example, in the following sentence. If you hit ice, it melts. En Spanish es, si calienta cielo, se funde. In both sentence, English and Spanish, we can see that the verbal tense is in the present simple. For in the first conditional, there are the ones used to talk about the future or when the conditional is very likely to occur, and the verb tense that follow the if sentence is the present simple, and the result in the future simple will. For example, if you are late, I will not wait for you. In Spanish es, si llegas tarde, no te esperaré. And we observe that in English, the first sentence, the sentence is in present simple, and the second in the future. And finally, the second conditional, this type of conditional is used to express an improbable possibility in the future and also to speak an unreal possibility in the present. And we observe that the conditional sentence with if goes in past simple, and the main sentence that of the result goes in conditional with the particle will, but we can also find it with could, should, might, depending on the sense. For example, if I didn't have such delicate skin, I would be sunbathing right now. En Spanish es, si no tuviera una piel tan delicada, ahora mismo estaría tomando el sol. And we use the same tense in the sentence in both language.
Differences between English and Spanish conditionals. We have in English the if, and in Spanish, sí. We use a word in Spanish that means yes. In Spanish, the word sí means yes, but with an apostrophe. We don't use with an accent. We don't use it with one point. Okay, so that's the difference. Second difference, if you come for the weekend, we will go to the cinema. Si vienes para el fin de semana, iremos al cine. You can summarize we will go to. That is the action to just one word, iremos. Difference number 3. If we were younger, I would travel more. Si fuera más joven, viajaría más. In Spanish, the sentence could be shorter because one word has more meaning. If you translate it to Spanish, you don't need to put the whole sentence, so the clause could be shortened out just because that one word describes a whole meaning of something. The last difference is if I were you, I'd study the rules. Si fuera tú, estudiaría las reglas. In Spanish, you don't need to put the pronoun on the second clause because the words refer to you. Estudiaría. That means you don't have to put the pronoun because it's referring to you, that you're going to study more. Okay? So we hope that this presentation has been clear and precise and that you guys could be able to understand us. Thank you guys for watching us, and I hope that you're good.